And our next guest lit my Clemson Tigers up for 32 the other night. Could have scored 100 and looked the part. Sean, first of all, good seeing you again. Happy New Year. And, man, how big did the basket look Wednesday night? That was some kind of performance.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. And thanks for having me. Happy New Year's to you guys.
So, I mean, when a shooter can shoot, man, again, I know you guys get in the zone. Kelly falls into the same category. Sometimes that basket looks humongous, doesn't it? It had to look sweet Wednesday night.
Oh, definitely. You get in those grooves every once in a while as a shooter. And yesterday, or I hope when was it? 2 days ago, definitely was one of those nights where shot was feeling good and the rim definitely looked a little bit wider than it is.
There is no better feeling. I can assure you, Pac, and I know, Sean, you were feeling it against Clemson. Was there something specific about that game, how Clemson was guarding you, what you were seeing for them on defense that allowed you to just go off?
I think they did a good job as far as trying to be physical with me. I think it was more so just coming into the game with the approach of being as confident as ever and knowing that I'm at my best whenever I'm being aggressive and taking what the defense is giving me. And then the shots were just falling. So once those first two kind of went down, I kind of got in a rhythm and kind of never looked back after that one.
Coach, I know Mike Young was talking about this after the game, but you guys go LL last week, and given how big this week is, with what's schedule-wise, quad one opportunities, everything else, it kind of felt like it was now, didn't it, for you guys? I mean, the crowd's fantastic. Kelly was talking about how great it is for the women's games. We've seen that sold out for Castle for the other night. You guys just don't lose at home. The crowd's fantastic.
Yeah.
But the sense of urgency, though, for this team this particular week. I mean, it's now the middle of January. Everybody's played now a couple months. What was that like heading into the game, knowing how important this week is?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's only the fourth game, I think, in ACC play, but it definitely was that sense of, like, it's time to get going. Just because we did come off those two L's back-to-back. And we knew as big of an opportunity it was in Clemson, ranked opponent who's good and playing well. We definitely knew that this was a good opportunity to prove what we can do, and Castle definitely helps with that. We definitely feel a lot more confident going against whoever comes in at Castle whenever we play, so it's definitely an advantage that helps us out.
There's no doubt. Being there for women's games, I know the men's games are very similar. That place gets loud. Those fans are awesome. Sean, how does it help you to have other guys on your team that could possibly go for 30, right? Hunter Couture, Lynn Kidd, these guys that are playing really well. It's not like it's just you, even though, of course, you balled out the other night. But that balance you guys have, how important has that been to your success as of late?
Yeah, it's been very critical. For me, especially as a point guard, it makes my role a lot easier just because whenever I drive in or touch the paint, it makes it really easy just to kind of pass it to anybody who's open, really, and trust that they're going to make the right play and knock the shot down. Tyler was obviously on one the other day, so. But like you said, it could be any one of us, Hunter, Lynn. There's a number of guys who can knock down a number of shots. And like I said, as a point guard, it makes my job a lot easier just getting the ball to them. But it was good to see Tyler get in a rhythm, knock the first couple down, then play with even more confidence down the stretch of the game. He had another big one at the end that was huge. So I'm proud of Tyler, and it's just a testament to our team and how many guys we have, and as deep as we are, it's kind of hard to scout against with the number of guys who can score at such a high level.
We were showing highlights. There was one that you went based on and started showcasing the guns, man. You've been hitting that weight room, haven't you? Huh?
Yeah.
There was that was not a modest thing. That was like, dude, if you got it, flaunt it, right?
I was feeling good, so, had to show them what I got.
That's right. Might as well, Pac. Look, if you've got it, like you said,
if you got it, flaunt it, man. That's all.
I've
always said. That's it. I mean, you don't put in all that hard work and wear that sweatshirt all day long, do you? I mean, you got a chance.
I got to cover it up right now, but.
Sean, you guys, I mean, when you mentioned a big week, Pac was talking about that. You have Miami this weekend. Now, you are from Oklahoma. You're not from the Virginia area, but you've been at Virginia Tech for a while now. You understand. We know that football rivalry with Virginia Tech and Miami. How do you feel about Miami, and is there a little bit of a basketball rivalry there as well?
Yeah, I know they're one of our two rivals, quote unquote, that we play twice every year, but I guess not really as much as the football, in my opinion, just because I don't know. like we have had a lot of close games in the past, and I know before I even got here, there was a stretch of like 3 or 4 games where the margin of victory was like less than 5 points. So as far as competitiveness and like a good matchup, I would definitely say it is a rivalry. But I do enjoy playing them. They're a tough team. They're always really talented and good. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next one, and it's going to be another big one, just like Clemson was, and another opportunity to get going.
Sean, obviously styles make fights regardless of the sport. And I think anytime anybody has Miami on the schedule and you watch tape of them, I know they're coming off a really disappointing loss at home to Louisville, and they just never lose at home. But, man, they're athletic, they're long, they like to run. When you know that you've got that coming up, from your perspective playing the position that you do you like games like that feel like they're going to be up-tempo? Or do you like more grinders where, hey, it's going to be physical and tough and everything's going to be kind of a half-court game?
Yeah, it can either be one side or the other, especially teams like Miami and FSU are kind of similar where they get up and down and they try to turn you over. It can either be a really good game where you're playing well offensively and everyone's getting going, you're getting good looks, or you can kind of fall into their play style and turn the ball over and get sloppy and take quick shots that they kind of bait you into. So as long as you're playing well and hitting shots and taking the right shots, it's definitely an enjoyable play style to play against. But you kind of got to be careful just because they're really good at what they do as far as turning people over and making that up and down game. So I think as far as tomorrow and their play style, they're going to try to do the same thing to us that they usually do, is just try to turn us over, be in the high teens as far as turnovers and get out in transition. And I think that's where they're at the best. So if we can limit them and limit turnovers, I think we'll be all right.
All right, so what do you like? I mean, I know you just put an 80 spot. You almost reached 90 against Clemson, who traditionally plays good defense, but you guys were making everything you looked at. If I said to you, hey, this game's going to be played in the low 80s, would you say, you know what, number one, we're comfortable with that, and that's where the game should be played, or would it be a better case scenario for Virginia Tech if this is an upper 60, low 70 kind of game?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it would be pretty clear that if it was in the low to mid 60s, it would definitely favor us, just because of our play style and kind of running our stuff and kind of keeping them out of transition where they can get their shooters open. But I wouldn't say the 80s game would be a bad thing necessarily. It probably wouldn't favor us as much, but the way we've been scoring the ball and the way we've been guarding down the stretch for most of the part has been pretty good. So I like our chances, but yeah, I think the lower the score, the more it favors us, just because they don't play as well, if you will, if they're kind of running their stuff and in the half court. So that will be our goal tomorrow, I'd say.
Sean, I was in Blacksburg yesterday and got a tour of y'all's practice facility. And of course, your locker room, your stuff is right next to the women's stuff as well. So I'm sure you guys see each other all the time. There's another really good point guard on campus, Georgia Amore. I don't know if you've heard of her, Sean. Do you guys
rings a bell.
throw ideas at each other? Do you ever play some horse? What's your relationship with Georgia?
No, I kind of try to stay completely away from anything competitive with her, just because I'm afraid of getting a little embarrassed. But she's super talented. I try to watch most of their games. Maybe I was at the one yesterday. And it's honestly kind of unfair the way she plays and how quick she is. So she's definitely a high-skilled player and definitely entertaining to watch. So any chance I can get to watch her and Liz and the rest of the team, I try to watch those games.
Well, listen, congratulations on the last couple games. I mean, you've just been lighting this thing up like crazy. Stay in that mojo, that groove, whatever that is. I mean, whatever you've been drinking, eating, the sweatshirt, the gun show. I don't know what you're doing up there, but, man, it's working. But we'll be looking forward to watching you tomorrow and the rest of the year, and stay healthy, all right?
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll try.